opening the membership to other fields of knowledge for sure will have an impact in our firms, in our daily practice. And we all should be aware of that, and we all should be open to bring people from other fields of knowledge even into our firms as members of the team into our firms.
I've heard the term hive mind. Sometimes companies and firms refer to their approach as having a hive mind. I like to think we do at our firm. But the bigger picture is, we have one batch of knowledge and experience within our firm, but there's a global community that has a much broader, wider batch of experience. And I think knowing that, again, you have a home to go to where you can have conversations, whether it's at a conference or in something or online in some kind of group that you've found because you're affiliated with IALD or whatever it is, knowing that you can benefit from the knowledge and experience of so many, and also knowing that you can give back of your knowledge so that, again, we don't just take, we feed and we feed from, and that's how we all get better and we all get stronger. So I think if we're talking about what the big picture is, I think for me that's how I would describe it.
Yeah, I think for our practice specifically, it would help us find more people to be able to include on our team. It would broaden the pool of people, and and I think especially I'm very interested in meeting people that are interested in lighting that are not coming from some of the traditional communities and locations. I would love to find people in other parts of the U.S. or the world that are just getting introduced to lighting to be able to do that. So I think certainly for hiring would be a huge part of that. I also am really interested in by widening that pool, what kind of approaches are new and fresh and technologies that are, again, tangential to the lighting that we're not even on our radar yet, that we could be introduced to as a result of that pool growing.
I think most of lighting designers, professional lighting designers, have felt for a long time restrictions in the business model that the IALD has supported for its entire existence. For example, many lighting designers design product. Many lighting designers do related businesses that involved in interface with a manufacturer. Many lighting designers supply product. That's restrictive. And in a world where the competition is much greater now, I think it's important that there's a certain amount of freedom for designers on the professional level or on the design level to be able to engage in whatever business models they feel are essential to them. Interesting, during Enlighten this year, a very prominent lighting designer spoke up from outside of the country and in North America, saying that they applauded the idea of the bylaws change to modify the business model aspect of it, because they are struggling, and in order to make a living, they need to add some additional services to their repertoire. And they would feel, and they have hesitated to do that because they would have to give up their professional membership at IALD, and after 20 or 30 years of being, a professional member. So I think that that's flip side, is the tying our bylaws, our business model together has created maybe indiscretion, people just doing these things on the side without admitting it to, or signing off on it as they're supposed to in their attestation. So let's just be open about it. I think that transparency is going to be vital going forward, and then we can embrace people that have not been part of the the profession and part of the membership, because they've had some other, additional business models.
As I see the engagement across kind of disciplines, it usually, at least what I've seen, it really helps having an educated competitor on the other side. If someone is seen as a piece of competition, I would rather have that competitor have the same tools and skill set and knowledge base of which to be able to make an informed decision around how to be able to accomplish a project, what it actually takes to undertake that piece, and then be able to make sure that those people that are either in competition and or those that I may be working with across the table from, everyone comes to what we need to accomplish on that particular project with a common framework of expectations and processes and what good looks like. And by having that, I feel like that helps kind of be able to kind of raise the bar for everyone in that game, and making sure that there's an understanding of the very thoughtful nature that we have to go through with our profession, and also it adds clarity to the technical rigor that designs must be able to meet in order to either get through a code compliance, but also some of the other domains too, and that we think around, from the human experience perspective and the conceptually.
It's a generalization. I think that larger membership in a larger organization benefits everyone. I think that we do have individual members that find solace or the quality in the smaller size of our organization and the more boutique or specialized elements that it brings. So I definitely understand that. I think that across the board, not every IALD member may find this beneficial to them. I think that there are certain benefits to some of our membership of being part of a small niche organization that offers very specialized educational opportunities and connections is meaningful. And that's the struggle, is that it's hard to find a solution that makes everyone happy. And so, at a broader level, I think the board and the task force has looked at the future and trying to understand how do we preserve this organization moving 10, 20 years down the road. Because as things evolve, sometimes you have to purge or adjust or shift to survive. And while I think all membership has loved and benefited from the size of the organization that we have been, the task force has helped to uncover some of the needs or necessities to survive as we move into the next 10 to 20 years. And so it's a balancing act.
It's interesting. I'm always fascinated by the resumes that come into our office from all over the world. Really interesting people with interesting backgrounds and varied experience levels. But one, people need to know that lighting design is actually a career that they can do and get paid, and that doesn't happen just magically. Like I've said, little boys and girls don't wake up and go, I want to be a lighting designer when I grow up. That doesn't happen because they don't know that they can be a lighting designer when they grow up, at least not yet. We try. We lighting folks are a really passionate breed, and we get a lot of pleasure from talking about what we do and showing and demonstrating and trying to create that spark within young folks, so that maybe they will find their way to our profession, or at least appreciate what lighting adds to an environment, what quality lighting adds to an environment. But it's hard to grow a pool of possible candidates for hire if people don't even know your profession is a profession. So, again, being able to sing from the rooftops about lighting design is a really good start. And, the more of us there are, the more chances are that kids will think about it as a profession. Parents will trust that it will support their children as a profession and perhaps promote it. And maybe there will be a greater demand for programs within universities to support it. So, there's a whole lot of layers to what has to happen to grow the pool of professionals entering the workforce, and numbers are a big part of that too.